Yeah, we can start. Yeah, hey.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Coffee in hand today.
Yeah, we all have our coffees. A little bit of
Iced.
different.
That's a bold choice.
What?
Iced.
I always drink ice.
Even when it's 35 degrees out?
Yes, I run hot, so I have to drink
Okay.
ice.
I run hot.
If I drink a hot coffee,
She doesn't run on Dunkin'. She
I
runs
will
hot.
be sweating. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I always have my iced coffee.
All right. I'm a hot coffee kind of gal in the morning.
I do.
Iced coffee's afternoon.
Or summer.
Yes.
See, I regret it every time I get a hot coffee. Especially if I go to work, then I'm in there, and then I'm like blow drying hair and dripping sweat, and I'm like, I can't do it.
Cannot do it. I run cold.
Oh. You would hate, like, being around me then.
I used to run cold, and then I had a baby, and then I had hot flashes freaking randomly.
Breastfeeding will do that to you. I feel like
gosh.
it's like you're always your temperature. Because I feel like you're regulating the baby's temperature a lot when you're breastfeeding.
I'm just constantly sweating. I just walk around the house, like, basically naked because
Before
I'm just
baby?
dripping sweat. No, after baby. I mean, I've been hot before the baby, but now I'm just like, it's free for all. Just, you know how they say, like, everyone has a naked neighbor?
You're the naked
Brandon says that I'm the naked neighbor. I'm like, oh, well, sorry. He's like,
Craig is
close
our
the blinds.
Craig's our naked neighbor. I always have the blinds open because I love natural light. And he'll just come out of the shower, no towel. I'm like, Craig. He's like, why do you have the windows? Why are the blinds open? I was like, why are you naked?
Brandon's like, there's a teenage boy that lives across the street. I'm like, well,
he's getting a free show.
Yeah.
See, my philosophy on that is, like, if you're looking, you deserve a show.
yeah,
Like, if you're looking that hard,
exactly.
might as well see something good.
Yeah. All right, so I'm excited for today's episode. We're going to talk about, some postpartum, some emotional stuff, some physical stuff.
Physical. We're going to get nasty.
Postpartum part 2. Coming at ya.
Yeah, I thought it would be really good to have Sam and Marlena come on together because you guys were a literal day apart with your...
2 days.
a literal 2 days apart. I stand corrected. With your babies, and your experiences couldn't be any more different. So I think it would be really good to hear. And I didn't really talk too much about my physical. I mean, we talked a little bit about the, like, stitches itching.
Yeah,
the stitches do be itching.
Itching stitches.
But, yeah, I think it would be good to have your experiences with recovery and maybe things that you thought how it would go versus how it really was. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's hear it.
Sam, do you want to talk about, like, the C-section aspect of it?
yeah.
Or C-section?
C-section. We're just gonna shorten it C-section.
We got some acronyms in here. Acronyms in here.
So for me, the first thing that comes to mind when I think of postpartum is the spinal headache. That is the first thing, because that was so debilitating, so not expected.
I never heard of it.
Out of left field, and it just blindsided me. And I mentioned this before, I didn't realize how bad it was until it was gone. So that in itself could be like a whole freaking episode, but I won't bore you guys. It was just a very, very, very bad headache. And I refused treatment in the hospital, went home without medication, and only made it 3 days. And I had to go back.
That's long, I feel
That's longer than I would have made it.
3 full days of
3 full
constant
days. I was
head pain.
discharged. I was discharged.
Dismissed
on a
from class.
Thursday, yeah. On Thursday, and I went to the ER on Sunday. So I made it 3 days.
Wow.
And it was Sunday night, so almost
That full
that
day.
other day too. But it was pretty awful. And I don't know if I was so distracted by the spinal headache that, like, my C-section recovery was second. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like my C-section recovery was a breeze.
Really?
A true breeze.
I hear that it's not
I've
normally
heard that
a breeze.
too. Yeah.
That
So
it's pretty, and it's long.
yes.
It takes a longer time.
Some people take the full 6 weeks to just feel normal again. I was up and walking in 2 days feeling completely fine.
That's amazing.
That's great.
And there's 2 things that I want to mention there. I've also heard that when you go under general anesthesia for your C-section, you're more numb than you are with a spinal or an epidural. So less trauma happens. Like, so when you're numb from a spinal or an
Probably
epidural,
so much more relaxed.
Yes.
Your muscles.
Yes, because
Yeah.
you're still like, you're numb, but your muscles are still working.
Yeah.
But when you're under general anesthesia, your muscles are not working as hard. So my friend told me that maybe that's why I had such a smooth recovery, because I was under.
It was like less trauma to your muscles while it was
Correct.
happening.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That could totally be it.
But you still were literally cut open, though.
Correct.
That's a recovery in itself.
But us Maggios, we're different. me and my dad heal like crazy. My dad had a complete laryngectomy 2 weeks before I had Mac. It's all like a blur those last few weeks, but and he healed in ridiculously fast. He had 6 weeks of radiation, and the nurse that he had said in 17 years, I've never seen someone handle
Wow.
it like you have.
That's awesome.
The thick skin.
Yes, we are just built, like, we heal crazy fast. Like, we're very rarely ever sick. I did just have a cold. But, yeah, it's weird. I truly think that has something to do with it also.
There you go.
can't-
Lucky
genetics.
you.
Yeah. I
All
can't
these other
really
ladies that
speak.
had C-sections are like, God damn it.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it was uncomfortable. Like, the first time I got out of bed, I thought I was going to die. I thought all
Okay.
my organs were going to fall off, like, fall out of me.
Oh my gosh.
I truly did. Like, and I was hunched over like an old lady, like, holding my stomach, walking to the...
Now, I remember you mentioning, because I didn't know this, so you still had a lot of the same, like, vaginal recovery.
Yes.
As a vaginal birth.
Yeah,
On
such
top
a
of that.
rip-off.
Right.
Right? Like, I thought I was going to get out of that. I did not.
You're
You
like, I don't
still
need all the pads. We're good.
I still needed the pads, the underwear, the peri bottle. I needed all that stuff. But I only bled for like 3 weeks. How long did you bleed?
What? I didn't even bleed that.
Maybe like
I bled for
2.
3 weeks.
Maybe 2 weeks.
I mean, the last week was probably the last 2 weeks were probably just like a panty liner.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
was still something.
Yeah. That's so
Yeah.
annoying.
It was.
Like, I'm regretting getting my period again. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, no,
Did it happen?
no,
Oh.
no. I thought I was getting crampy, but no.
Yep. Just hang on to breastfeeding as long as you can.
Yeah.
Keep stalling.
I literally will.
Yeah, yours is such a sad
Seriously,
story.
Courtney decided that she was going to stop breastfeeding, and 10 seconds later got her period.
10
Literally
seconds
10
later.
Like,
That bitch was waiting.
yep.
She was waiting.
Snap a finger. All right, I'm back.
It's so weird though to go over a year without it. You kind of forget
Mm-hmm.
all the like side effects and cramping and stuff.
The pimples and
Men have it so easy, it's not even funny. Like, it kind of pisses me off a little bit.
if you think about it too much, it will.
Yeah. We're not going to go there today.
Yeah, that's another
We'll
episode.
have an episode where we just bash our men.
Listen,
in love.
it's coming. I told Brandon already. I'm like, we're just going to...
He wants it. He
Yeah.
wants the juicy episodes.
He does.
Yeah, he said we'll get more viewers if we're juicier,
Yeah.
right? Didn't
Yeah.
he?
Funny and dirty, I guess. Spill all our dirty details. So I guess my recovery, it really wasn't terrible at all either. I only had to get 1 stitch, so that was...
Just one
What is the point of one stitch?
I know. So
Wait,
that
did
was
you guys
nice.
ever hear about my doula? I think it was my doula. Did you ever hear about the husband stitch?
The one extra for the
Yes.
husband?
Yeah,
It's
what
some
the
bullshit.
hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
insane.
disturbing.
It is.
Yeah, my mom said that. I'm like, oh,
Like,
okay.
she asked you if you were going to
No,
have
no,
it?
no, no, no. But she,
just-
like, made a joke about it. She's like, oh, yeah. And then, like, people add an extra for the husband. I'm like,
It's
oh.
insane. To even have that be a conversation.
I think it was a common thing.
It
Wait, that's
was.
actually, like, true? I thought it was a
Yes.
joke.
No.
It
Oh.
was true. And there's people who it's too small after the husband stitch. If you look into it, because I did. Like,
Oh, my gosh.
it's
Debating.
insane.
Should I? No.
No.
After all that, yeah, let me do one more thing
For you.
for my husband.
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
So my recovery was pretty easy, I would say. But it's just like no one tells you like how you're gonna feel afterwards. Like it's just like, all right, go home, do your thing, take care of your baby. I know for me, Brandon had 3 weeks paid paternity leave, which was amazing.
That's a lot, yeah.
So, I mean, not as good as Sam's husband, but that's okay. I'll take what I can get.
He works for another country, so it doesn't count.
And Brandon's even in healthcare.
US,
Like, you'd think
good.
they'd give him, like, a little bit
Right.
better, but whatever. So, yeah, 3 weeks he got to stay home with me. It was really nice. I told him the other day that it was, like, probably some of my favorite time that we've ever spent together. But then whenever he had to leave, I, like, developed, like, this, like, severe, like, anxiety about it. And not about being alone with the baby. Like I couldn't handle it. Because I knew I could. I just didn't like being alone. And I don't really know where that came from because I like to be alone. But it was, like, I don't know, kind of severe for, like, a little bit.
I remember leading up to when he was going back to work, you were stressing. You're like, guys.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Like, I feel like I'm going to have to, like, have people come over or, like, me go someplace to, like, kind of, like, buffer the, like, thought of being alone. But actually the opposite happened. He went back to work, and me and Sadie and Rusty, we were just, like, thriving at home. We're like, yeah, just hanging out.
It is a little terrifying, right? You're just all of a sudden responsible for an entire other human being.
And being so tired on top of that, you're like, what
And
if I doze
recovering.
off? Or what if, like, you know, it's just a lot sometimes.
Well, 3 weeks, I think that's good to have time for you to recover, which you had a pretty mild recovery. I did too. I had a secondary tear, so it didn't tell me how many stitches I had, but I'm pretty sure it was more than just one.
You were itchy.
Yes. No, that was like the worst. I'm telling you, I didn't have any pain, even in the hospital. When I was in, like, the postpartum room, the nurses were asking me, do you need ibuprofen for your pain? And I don't have pain. I'm good. They're like, okay.
To be completely honest, I'm pretty sure my stitch came out, like, the day after. Like, I think I, like, accidentally
dissolved.
ripped it out.
Oh.
Yeah, but I think I, like, ripped it out.
This didn't even.
Have you looked?
I mean, I don't think you can tell.
No, I think I had Craig look a couple times.
Yeah.
I was nervous that something was wrong because it was getting, like, it was fine, and then all of a sudden I was very uncomfortable, very itchy, very, like,
See, that
irritated.
never happened to me.
He
But, like,
literally looked.
but I am, like, shocked because to be completely honest, when I was, like, in labor and delivering Sadie, I did not feel any pain. Like, none.
Incredible.
Like, I guess the epidural just worked really good, but, like, the hardest part for me was literally holding my breath for 10 seconds while I was pushing. But, like, the pushing itself, like, I didn't feel anything. And then the stitching up, I didn't feel anything.
Yeah, I did not feel them doing that either.
So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
It must be nice to have an epidural work.
Yeah, sorry, Sam.
Well, even Katie had her epidural, and she said she felt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people just numb differently.
Yeah, I didn't feel anything for days after until I was, because that's why I thought that I could be up and moving and doing things again because I felt good. But I think because I didn't bleed much afterwards, and then it came back like a few weeks later. I started bleeding again. I'm like,
You started,
did I?
like, getting up and doing things.
I was
moving
doing too
around.
much. Yeah.
Doing too much.
So-
Or-
Just trying to get back in. But my point to that was that Craig didn't have those few weeks home
Yeah.
with me. So I was put into the home by myself thing pretty early
Like,
on.
right away.
People came to visit and, offered to help, but everybody else worked.
But the thing is, people offer to help, but, like,
It's
half of
not
them
helpful.
really don't know.
Right.
Like, our friends come over, oh, what can I do? It's like, really nothing.
And
like,
me having to tell you
yes.
is not helping.
Yeah.
That defeats the purpose. Also, another thing, like, when your husband gets up in the middle of the night, if they do, like, I don't want to have to be bothered answering questions
Yes.
about what you're doing.
It defeats the purpose of you waking
Exactly.
up.
Like, I
might
would
as well
just
be
rather
up.
get up and do it myself than have you wake me up and be like, where's this? Where's that? What about this? What about that? I'm like, oh my God, I'm up now.
I would just do it
I'll just
myself.
do it.
Yeah.
I mean, Brandon, please keep waking up in the middle of the night. But just saying, that is annoying in itself when
Yeah, and that's how, same thing with people coming to help. It's like,
yeah, it's like, well,
tell you.
what can I do? It's like, well, honestly, nothing. I really just want to sleep, but I'm at the same time, I'm not gonna just sleep and hand you my 3-day-old baby like to
Yeah.
just anyone.
Right.
Like if it's my mom or my mother-in-law, sure, but like
Yeah.
I don't know.
even, I couldn't just sleep on demand.
I also think it's like kind of a rhetorical question. Like, how are you doing? You expect someone to say, oh, I'm good, thanks. But like then when like Katie was saying in the last episode, like when you actually like spill and say like, oh, I'm not doing that great,
People
or
don't know what to
people
do.
are like, oh shit, I was just doing it as a courtesy, like, oh, hey, what's up, like,
Right,
you know,
right.
if they don't really want to know, they're just like, let me see your baby.
And they're
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yes.
They're like, oh, how's the baby sleeping?
Yep.
Not.
And like the whole stigma of bouncing back is like what I wanted to talk about too, because personally I wanted to be like a Pinterest mom.
It's hard to
They
not
don't
want to be.
exist.
No, they don't exist.
No, let's rephrase that. The TikTok mom.
Oh,
Yeah, the TikTok
Here's
mom.
my morning
glamorized.
routine. I run 3 miles. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I fully wanted to be like, okay, I'm gonna wake up, like we're gonna have a routine. I think I could be a stay-at-home mom probably, but at the same time, I would need a routine set because I just aimlessly wake up whenever I want, like whenever she does, and then it's like, you know, I don't get around until like noon. But I don't know. There's this stigma that you have to like bounce back, and then you're like on your routine, and then you're, you know, moms are like, oh, like I'm gonna go on like a juicing diet, or I'm making smoothies at 7 a.m. It's like, no. And then it's like, okay, well, oh, I lost all my baby weight right away. It's like, okay, well, good for you.
I think it's a lot of like genetics too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like Sam was saying how her and her dad recover so well. My family my aunt has had 5 children. If you saw her, you would not believe that she had 5 children. It's just the gene. I don't know what it is. Everyone said to me, you know, you don't even look like you had a baby. And honestly, to me, that is just as insulting as you saying to somebody, you look like you had a baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's not fair to me to discredit that I 100% carried a baby.
Yes.
My body is still different to me.
Yeah.
Might not look different to you.
True. That's true.
But that was something that I still deal with it now. Even when I was pregnant, people would be like, you don't even look pregnant. Well, I am. Thank you.
you.
What do you want me to do? Like,
Yeah.
I am
And a
small.
lot of
I've
time
always-
it's like at the beginning especially, it's like you like can't wait to see your baby bump.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
And then
yes.
it's like,
It
you know,
took
some
20 weeks.
yeah, it's like some
Yeah.
people they're like, oh, you don't look pregnant at all. It's like, yeah, thanks for reminding me. I look in the mirror every day wanting to see my
Yeah.
belly
Yeah.
bump.
I was wearing the tightest things.
Me
just to, like,
too.
feel
Accentuate
pregnant.
it.
Me
And
too.
I didn't own a lot of tight things.
I went and
you
bought
know?
stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, this will look good with my baby bump.
Uh-huh.
And then next
And
thing
then
you know, you're
after-
like, I can't wear it
Yes,
anymore.
and then afterwards you're like, oh no, that's a different kind of like bump and roll. I don't want to show that off.
Yeah. But Marlena, to come back to the fact that Brandon had 3 weeks off and Ryan had 16 weeks off, but he only took 8. Can you, for a minute, like imagine not having that?
No.
And them going back to work the day after you had a baby.
No, and like I don't know how you and
I don't know
Katie
how.
and even Izzy. I mean, Dylan works a lot.
Well, he was
so-
home. I don't think he started his job. I don't remember how
Oh.
long he was home for.
Well, that's good.
But
But I can't imagine just
Yeah.
like
I can't.
being like, all right, I'm here for the birth, and then all right, see ya, going back to
I would
work.
not have survived with the headache and then also the breastfeeding journey. Nobody tells you, well, maybe they do, and I just wasn't listening, but how hard those first, I would say 4 weeks are breastfeeding.
figuring it
It's
out.
like
Yeah.
you need 2 extra hands. And if I
Yes.
did not have Ryan, I would have easily given up on breastfeeding. It's so much easier to just be like, no, like I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah.
You get hot. You are trying to figure out a latch. I had a
Try to even
debilitating
just get
headache.
comfortable, like sitting on the couch. You would never
Yeah.
think that, like, oh my
Oh my
God, I'm gonna be in the most like distraught
Yeah.
positions. Like,
Yeah. Drenched in sweat. You randomly get hungry. You're dying of thirst. And I was doing all this with a headache that, like, sitting up was.
Took
I had
everything
my
out of you.
eyes closed with a cap on that was in the freezer. Like, imagine that. Trying to, like, breastfeed with my eyes closed because any sense of light, like,
Mac, you're on your own, buddy. Figure
Yeah.
it out.
like
Find the nipple.
Ryan would, like, hold him, get the portable fan. We love our portable
Yes.
fan. And put it on the chair for me. Like, I accredit all of my emotional well-being postpartum to having Ryan off work. And
Yeah.
I truly could not imagine doing it without him.
yeah, it is crazy how some people get like a lot of time off and others get none. Like I think like listening to the last episode, that should be more of a
Standard.
yes.
Because
Well,
mental health in America is a problem.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it can stem from postpartum, but
Oh my God.
yeah, Craig owns his own business, so you would think it'd be easier, but he works for a kitchen and design company, and he had he was in the middle of jobs, he had jobs lined up. And he told his customers and, you know, the man he, you know, gets jobs through, but at the same time, he, like, couldn't take up that much time to be away and then get behind on schedule, and then every job after that's behind. Yeah. So I think moving forward, there was a lot of moving factors, too. Craig just started pretty much his own business very early in the middle of my pregnancy, pretty much. So I think moving forward, if we have this down, his business, and we have another baby, I'll be like, no, you are scheduling like a month. And that was the original plan. He wanted to schedule a whole month off, but things changed, which is fine. But that is going to be a requirement.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, you can't do, I don't know how single moms do it.
Yeah.
Even though Craig wasn't there all the time, but.
I almost think, like, a second kid would be harder. Like, depending on how far apart you have them. Like, if you have, like, say you have a 2-year-old and then you have a newborn, it's like 2-year-olds are wild. They are running amok through your house, grabbing everything. Like, it's, like, I think that would be harder than just having one. Yeah. But I don't know. I guess we'll find out when the time comes.
And it's twofold, too, though, Courtney. Like, it's so great, and I would not replace it at all, having that time with Ryan. But the anxiety is real, like, when they leave. And I am still dealing with that.
Because you get so used to them being there.
I'm so used to Ryan.
And your team, you have this rhythm going on. Because after a couple weeks, you do get into that rhythm with your baby. Where you're not, I wouldn't say like a routine or a schedule, but you're just kind of like getting to know each other better. And picking up on their cues. Yeah.
But even when Ryan is working, he's upstairs working. He only goes into the office every other week, once every other week.
So he's like there, but not.
So he's there. And so he has this trip coming up for work where he has to go to Utah. And he's only going to be there for 4 days. But I'm like, I haven't been alone.
It's going to feel like the longest 4 days of your life.
The anxiety of being alone and not knowing. I mean, I know what to do.
Yeah.
We're 3 months in.
Yeah.
But I'm stressing about
not having him there to rely on or support
or like,
you.
If Craig was gone for a few days, you'd be like,
I think it's
we're
like
good.
a comfort
You
thing.
know?
Like
we
we know that we can do it ourselves, but like we want them there in case we just, you know, just need a little
the burp
break.
rag is across the room.
Exactly. Yes.
I'm in my
Louis.
empty.
Yes.
You better train Louis now.
That's one of the things I think I miss most about him being off is he always would like wash the bottles and clean my pump for me.
Wow.
And I'm like, that was the best. But
It's
now
the littlest thing, but it makes all the difference.
yes,
That's
because
honestly
I
half
hated
the reason why I
washing my
wanted
pump.
to stop breastfeeding. It's cleaning the pumps all the time.
Yes.
Thankfully I work from home. I probably would not have made it as long as I did breastfeeding if I didn't. But every 2 hours I pump, and I only have 2 sets of bottles to pump with in parts. So after I use those twice to wash them all, it was just so time consuming.
Okay, does anybody here actually sterilize every time they use their pump?
Every time, hell no.
I sterilize like once a week.
Yeah.
I didn't even
Maybe.
do that.
Maybe.
You're better than me. I have sterilizing bags. Do you want them?
Oh, the microwave ones?
Yeah.
I think it's just easier to put them in a freaking boiling pot of water. But
I think I did the very first time I got all my stuff.
That's another thing. He would do all that for me. And I'm like, oh, this is great. But no, I definitely don't do that every time. Nobody has time for that. Like, what the hell? No.
Turn me in.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here trying to remember the last time I boiled. It's probably
I didn't even
you.
know you were really supposed to do that.
I mean,
In a dream world, I think.
Yeah, it's like they put it on the
Just to cover their ass.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
All the things you're just supposed to automatically know when you have a baby.
Exactly.
You're just supposed to know this stuff. Right off the bat.
So, for your 6-week appointment, talk about that. Like, was everything good? Like, did they have did they say anything different, like versus C-section or?
My 6-week appointment was a joke.
Well, they are kind of, yeah.
It is the doctor that cut me open is not the doctor I saw.
Oh, really?
You would think.
Mine was actually the delivery doctor, and I was shocked that that's who
I think you
it
just
was.
got lucky.
Probably.
Right. Yeah.
Because
Mine wasn't.
Either, yeah. So, yeah, it was somebody else. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, so
I don't even know if I
you
saw an OB.
doing?
I didn't even see it.
Wow.
I think it was a practitioner.
I definitely saw an OB.
I can't remember.
But she was like, how is everything? And she was kind of talking like what I experienced was normal. And I'm like, did you read my chart? Like, do you know what happened? And she was like,
and that's
what?
so frustrating because at that point they're treating you as if you're every other patient.
Yeah.
And you had a very, not very unique, but
I would say.
Pretty different.
Pretty
Yeah.
rare, too, I would say.
It's not your everyday, like, vaginal delivery checkup.
Or a regular C-section.
Or that,
you
yeah,
know? Like,
right.
It wasn't,
Or a regular epidural or spinal. Nothing was normal for you.
I was like, I just have questions. And she was like, oh, like what? And I'm like, why did this happen? And she was like, what? Like, you had a C-section.
Ma'am. What?
You know what I mean? And I'm like,
no,
like, why wouldn't I numb? Like, why
wouldn't I numb?
Why would this fail how many times? You know what I mean? And she was kind of like scrambling to like open my chart and stuff. Like, did you not come prepared for the exam? Like, I'm prepared. You're not prepared. And after
That's
that,
frustrating.
She was like talking about how I cannot get pregnant for a year because if I were to, after C-section, like catastrophic, no, that's what her words were, and no survivors, she said.
Oh my
There
God.
would be no survivors.
So she just shuffled your questions and concerns.
Kind of, yeah.
Under the rug. And then
she was like, you don't have to worry about it for at least a year.
No, I'm worried about it now, actually.
I'd be like, I don't want to worry about it again. Don't insinuate that this will happen again.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
That is my biggest concern moving forward. Like, what if next time I get pregnant, I am able to deliver vaginally. Maybe they're not breached this time. Maybe they turn around. Will I numb? Will an epidural work for me? Like, I have these questions.
Right.
And I want to
meet
you
with
an
know,
anesthesiologist.
Yeah. Is it something about you?
Yes.
So you can kind of prepare yourself for the next time? Mm-hmm. No, you deserve to know those answers. I think the fact that they just, and that's the whole, even when you're pregnant, all the appointments, they just treat you as if you're every other patient in there. Mm-hmm. And you might not be.
Yep.
You might have a different case, or you might have more questions, or...
I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure that the men are way more excited for the 6-week appointment than the women. Yeah.
Green light.
Yes.
I mean, I was excited to get cleared, but they were definitely
No, I wasn't. I was terrified.
Well, I didn't have anything come out of my vagina.
Yeah, no,
but they
like,
can you
just
expect
tell
us
me
to just hop right on right after. It's like, okay, cool it for a sec. Like, you know what I mean? We just went through like a life-changing experience. We don't feel ourselves. Most of us don't look ourselves. Like, it's a huge change, but
you don't feel yourself.
Yeah.
I was terrified. I was like, can we hold this off for a little bit longer? Because I was just nervous it was going to be different. It was going to, like, be painful.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because, you literally just had a baby. And, like, yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't.
And they're like, so? It's like, what do you mean?
They don't get it. They just don't get it.
Well, that's good. I mean, they don't care. I mean, you just saw a baby come out of me, and you still, find me attractive enough. Yeah.
Like. I have a nice big old scar and some stretch marks that weren't there before. Ryan doesn't even care.
Doesn't care.
No. Yeah, I don't think our men care about that, but they're like, yep, we're ready. Let's go. It's like,
not to mention how terrified you are to get pregnant. Even not having a traumatic birth experience, I do not want to get pregnant for a, 3-4 years.
I feel like I'm in high school again using condoms.
Yeah.
Like, I have not used condoms since high school.
Yes.
Because I think we all 3 are we don't want to get back on birth control, right?
I'm not doing it.
Brandon wants me to, just because.
Well, who gives a shit what Brandon wants?
Well,
okay?
he wants to, not for like the aspect that he doesn't want to use condoms, but like my period is so bad that like he feels bad, like, because sometimes we can't even like go out or like stuff like that.
It's not that bad, jeez.
Yeah, it's very bad.
It's always been that way?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, ever since I like was in high school, like it's just terrible. So he wants me to get back on it just for the aspect that I don't have to like deal with that every single month. But I don't know. I just don't want to continue, changing all my hormones again. And like, I mean, I've been on it since, over 10 years, probably 12 years. So I just feel like at some point you should not just, I don't know, I feel like your
Just
body
give
needs
your body
a
a
break.
chance to re-regulate.
Yeah.
I truly believe we had such an easy time getting pregnant because I got off birth control 2 years before.
Probably.
Oh.
I got off birth control when I would turn 25. I was like, it would have been 10 years because I got on it when I was 15. And I just said,
Do you mind
"No,
me
I'm done."
asking how long it took for you to get pregnant? Like, how long were you trying?
Second time.
Wow.
Got pregnant.
Wow.
Honestly,
weren't
that has
really-
to have something to do with it, yeah.
We weren't really trying.
Mm-hmm.
We were
kinda
just
letting-
not being careful.
Yeah.
Like not using any precaution. And I had always read it could take up to like 3 to 6 months to get pregnant. So we were hoping to get pregnant in March. We started not being careful in December. And I tracked it on, like, I would track my period on the period tracker on your phone, the health app. And I would track when we had sex. And, like, I didn't know when I ovulated or anything. Like, some women know when their body's ovulating. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have any discharge or anything. Like, I don't know. And
Never paid very much attention
yeah,
to.
we weren't trying that hard.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I know some people,
Yes.
like, I'm ovulating
Take tests.
today. We need to have
Or
sex
people
multiple
that are
times
like, I
today.
know that I'm going to have my period on the 2nd of the month. I never knew when my period was coming. But
Really?
But then again, you know how I am. I don't do research. I don't really read up on things.
I'm just da-da-da, going through life.
Yeah.
I was pretty
Winging
regular.
it.
I told when we went for our walk.
Yes, we
That's
were
when
talking about that.
this. Yeah, I got my period on the 4th of every month, or around it, like 1 or 2 days.
On birth
difference.
control, yeah, mine was pretty.
No, this was off birth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
On and
I'm-
off. I was just not normal, I guess.
I was pretty regular. But I didn't know when I ovulated in comparison to my period. Like, I didn't pay that close attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got pregnant second time. Well,
Isn't
looking
it-
back at the app, it was December 16th.
Isn't it crazy, though, that, you know, when you're not ready to have a baby, you're so worried about not getting pregnant. And then when you are ready, you realize, well, it's actually kind of hard to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Yes, like all these years you're like, oh my god, like what if I'm pregnant? Like this would be terrible. And then you go to try and it's like it took us 6 months of
Same.
like actively
6
trying
months.
a lot.
And that's normal. That's considered normal.
Yeah.
Craig
But-
was away in the oil field when we were we were the same thing as you. We weren't like trying, like tracking it. We were just not on birth control. So, but it took us probably 6 months. But he was gone. He was only home 1 week out of the month.
When did
so.
you get off birth control?
Probably, I do not remember.
Like,
I have
in
no
comparison
idea.
to when you started? Like, 3 months, 6 months, a week?
I don't even remember.
I think I got
literally
off
don't
birth
remember.
control in the summer and we started trying in like August ish.
Yeah, so it was probably
No,
still in
I-
your system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know that we started in like the spring, like March-ish. So maybe I stopped at the beginning of the year. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no,
was
I didn't
always
even
told
track.
it could take up to a year
After.
um,
Well, yeah, you have to get
for it to get out of your system.
right. Okay.
So I got off of it
In
with
preparation.
plenty of time.
Right.
Yeah, but I was just
That's smart. I
done.
didn't even think about that.
I got so much anxiety when I was on birth control. Like, my anxiety went way down. I also started therapy around the same time, so probably two.
Good combination of both.
Yeah, it's a good combination. And that's another thing that helps with my success, our success with, like, emotional well-being after postpartum so far, because I truly believe it's up to a year. So when I start going back to work, when things become more normal, I may not be
Changes.
the same way. You know, those
Yeah.
intrusive thoughts may come up. But therapy has been such a gift. I had a good, strong foundation before pregnancy, during pregnancy, and now after pregnancy. And I accredit that too.
Your therapist you mentioned is a mom.
Yeah.
So I remember you in your birth story talking about how she was able to switch her hat. She was able to
She
be
is, yeah.
like a friend, but then also a therapist. And I think being able to relate to her, and she almost could even prepare you. I don't know if she did. Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. She said, Sam, you know, you're a very type A person.
She knows you probably
don't-
better than you know yourself, too.
Yeah. You don't like change, and the first year is constant change. As soon she's like, it's like waves and it's like stages. So as soon as you are comfortable with your baby, another thing is going to happen. As soon as that you're comfortable with that, Ryan's going to go back to work. As soon as you're comfortable with that, you're going to go back to work. As soon as you're comfortable with that, he's going to start teething. And then, you know, it just keeps
crawling and
happening.
walking
And she said you just have to learn to go with the flow. And That's very hard for me. But with COVID and my wedding and all of that and having therapy throughout all of those experiences, it really has taught me to go with the flow a lot more. And I'm very...
Or at least to go with the things out of
prepared.
your control,
Yes.
right? So to accept that something is out of your control.
And Mac is out of my control.
He's pretty in control. I mean, he's doing good.
He is
We were talking you guys up last episode.
Yeah, he is.
No pressure.
He is pretty great. I will say that, too. That's another thing I wanted to talk about. Temperament in babies is a huge thing. I was blessed with a easy, go-with-the-flow tempered baby.
And just wait for him
Me
to become
too,
a toddler.
Sam.
No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like
Totally kidding.
No, I think Sadie is very easygoing
Yeah.
also.
yes, we both have like very chill babies. I think.
I think Cash is a little
Cash?
strong-willed. Or slow to warm. I think Cash is slow to warm.
Oh.
There's
What's
3 temperaments.
slow to warm. Tell me more.
Easygoing, flexible, slow to warm, strong-willed.
Are these just for babies or just
No,
in general?
you're born
oh,
with your
okay.
temperament.
Oh, okay. Tell
So
me more about this. What is slow to warm?
Slow to warm is your folks. Let me back up. You're born with your temperament.
Okay.
So what you're born with is what you are into adulthood. So which one of those 3 do you think you are?
Strong-willed.
Mm-hmm.
You know that.
I do know that.
I what do you
I'm
think?
strong-willed.
What
Could
do
you be
you
my
guys
therapist,
think
Sam?
What do you think I am? Because
Look,
I
think
don't
lay
you're
back,
slow to
flow.
warm.
Oh, I thought you were lay back with the flow.
see. I would. I think I'm in the middle. That's
Tell me what slow to
warm
warm is. I don't know what
Slow
it
to warm is like at first. It takes you a minute to warm up to people. Like at
Okay.
first you're
Yes.
kind of dragging your
Yeah.
feet, but once you get comfortable, then you're more easygoing. I think that's Marlena.
Yeah.
But I think we're blessed with easygoing children. My husband is the most go with the flow person in the entire world. Like nothing shakes him.
Same with Craig. Yep.
He's so cool, calm, and collected. And I am the complete opposite. I'm very strong-willed. So my second child's probably going to be like me, and we're terrified. We're terrified. But yeah, Mac is easygoing. And you know, if anybody's out there is like, I wonder if I have a strong-willed child, you do.
If you're questioning it.
If you're questioning it, you do have one. I think, if I'm thinking of the babies, I think Cora is easygoing.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dale is easygoing, and I think he's only struggling because of all of his
belly.
dietary
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But in his nature,
But
I
in
think he's a
general,
very
he is so
easy-
happy
so
and
happy.
just chill.
Can't
like
be bothered.
he will
Just throw
literally
up.
be throwing up. Like our Snapchat, we're constantly sending videos, so he will literally throw up, and then not even 10 seconds, like a second later, he'll just be like, oh, like smiling, laughing, like hi, mommy, like
I will say, Cash is pretty chill too. He just doesn't sleep through the night.
I just think he's slow to warm.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it too, when we went through that period of time, right around when we went on our trip to Mexico, I didn't realize he wasn't getting enough milk from me. He wasn't getting enough of my supply, so I think he was extra fussy because he was hungry. And I will forever be upset with myself that I let it go on as long as it did. I was so strong-willed, right? My aunt would watch him. She watched him the whole first month and went back to work before he started daycare. And, I was very set on, no, he cannot have more than 5 ounces. Because I've heard horror stories that breastfed babies, if they have more than 5 ounces, their stomachs will stretch. And this will happen. And, yeah, I just was terrified of something going wrong. So I was like, no, he cannot have more than 5 ounces. This is how much he should be. This is how much I'm producing. So this has to be how much he's supposed to have.
yeah.
And she would just, she went with my lead. She didn't ever question me but at times she was like, I think he might still be hungry. I'm like, no, there's just no way. He just ate. And it wasn't until we were on vacation that full week where all I was doing was nursing him. We had no bottles or extra milk saved up. I was just strictly nursing him. And he just had these screaming fits that were awful. I mean, he inconsolable. Just screaming. No matter what you would do. Even I would try to give him, the boob.
And then when they're so dysregulated, they don't want to latch. It's harder.
Yes,
Yep.
they get so
when they're so worked up.
Yes, and then it's like, okay, I know you want. It's like, get on the boob. The
Just
boob's here.
take it.
All you have to do is take it.
Just take it.
But then they're like, Sadie will be like headbanging and like fist fighting me, and I'm
relax.
just take the boob.
We call
So,
it
yeah.
sicko mode. Mac, you're going sicko mode. Like, trying to head
That's
bang.
hilarious. But yeah, I think that a lot of that had to do with, and now that he eats what he wants.
He's content.
He's a pretty chill baby for the most part. He goes with it. But
Yeah.
I love his facial expressions. He looks so sweet.
Oh my gosh! Yesterday
Scoping
with Craig's whole family was so funny because there are a bunch of people he hasn't seen much, so he was just checking everybody out. Like,
him with that baby.
I know it's his cousin.
My
So
gosh.
cute. I know.
He was like eyeing up that other baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he was like, how do you move your hands like
Yeah.
that? I don't do that. Like, he was like really studying him.
He is. I think that's a lot of it too. I think Dale and Cash are similar in the fact that they are kind of more active, it seems, or more, I don't even know what the word is. What does he always say? Advanced. I don't even know that it's that because you can't compare your babies. Everybody's baby's going to move at their own pace. But I think that had a lot to do with it too. I think that's why he doesn't sleep well. He's just always like...
He's just ready to just keep moving and grooving.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to be laying down this long.
This is boring.
This is boring.
Yeah.
See, I think
That's
Sadie...
interesting. I like that. The
Sadie's
temperament.
definitely like her mama. Like, we like our sleep.
Yeah, same.
She's great. Like, even since I brought her home, like, everyone's like, I don't know, she shouldn't be sleeping that long. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to question it.
No.
But,
You
like,
let
our
that baby
routine
sleep.
right now is, like, she normally goes to bed around, like, 9:30. And then she normally doesn't wake up till, like, 4:30, sometimes 5. And then I get
That's
her up.
beautiful.
And then we go back to sleep.
Same.
And then sometimes we take a morning nap.
Same.
Is it because you guys had, like, at the time of year you had your baby?
I don't know, but
I don't
we
know.
are
It
like the
is.
same.
But you know
Yeah.
what? One of my clients was telling me that you normally have your baby during a full, like, close to a full moon
Oh,
or
here we
close
go.
to a
I
new moon.
need this astrology stuff. This is...
We had ours by the full moon.
What?
And yes, because it was like a day or two away from us.
Sam's like, I don't even know this.
And I was like, really? Like, that's kind of like weird. Like, I'd never heard that before. And then when the doctor was like, oh, it's this full moon. And I was like, oh my
What
God.
does that mean? I've heard
I guess,
full
like,
moon is like crazy
the-
town.
I thought that was the opposite, yeah.
I think it's the pull of the gravity that changes, but it literally does affect, like, when people give birth. It's crazy.
Interesting.
It makes you give birth?
Well, it doesn't make you give birth, but
Oh.
like it can like set you into labor. Like that's what I had been hearing.
Except for Sam. Hers was scheduled.
Yeah,
Well,
I
yes,
did have it.
that is true. But yeah, because
It just so happened.
my client was like, because originally they were like, oh, your due date's like the 22nd.
Yeah, that was some bullshit.
And my client was like, I don't know, that's like in between a full and a new moon, so I don't know. I think it's gonna it's definitely gonna pull closer to one. And she was right. It was like almost dead on.
That's crazy.
Wild. I never heard that.
I know. I hadn't either until she said that to me.
And is there relation to that being how the baby is?
That
Their
I don't
temperament?
know. That I would
That's what we need to
Probably
figure out.
look
Because
into.
how did we
Connected
get blessed with two
At the same
easygoing,
I feel like we
well-sleeping
should also
babies?
look into like our baby's signs. Like
Ooh,
our,
we haven't done that. I don't even
what is
know
it? The
Cash-
astrology sign?
Yeah.
I don't know. The like the Gemini, Libra, Leo.
What are our babies, Marlena?
I think they're Libra.
No, I don't think
No.
they are. Because Ryan
Libra,
and I
I
are
thought-
Libras. They're
Brandon's
the
a
one
Libra.
before.
That was October.
October is Libra.
Oh, well,
No.
Brandon's in September and he's
Wait.
a Libra. So what's before Libra?
Sagittarius. Hold on.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
I
that,
don't know.
like so many people have been like,
My
oh, what
mom's
sign
real
are
into
you?
this stuff.
And I'm like, oh, Gemini. And they're like, that explains so much.
Yeah, my mom's a Gemini.
Yeah, it's like,
She wanted Cash to be born early. So
Okay. Hold on.
we need to know all of our babies.
They are Virgos.
Virgos.
Oh gosh, that doesn't
that
make
not
any
good?
sense.
I don't know anything about the
Virgos
signs.
are normally like strong-willed.
Wow, so far.
We got to pull my mom on this episode. She'll tell you right now what every single, because I'm a Scorpio,
Okay.
and she tells me, Court, you are such a Scorpio. She's like, you could be so sweet and nice one second, and then your sting will just get you real good. And I'm like, sorry, that is me. Whoops.
I don't think my Libra, like Ryan and I are both Libras, but we're we're only 6 days apart. I don't know if you guys ever knew that.
No.
I noticed your birthdays were close.
Yeah, but like the year
That's-
is the same too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so truly 6 days apart, two different personalities completely. But yeah, I'm glad Mac has his personality.
Watch, it will be like 6 months in, and it'll completely flip, and everyone's baby will be angels, and me and Sam are gonna be like, oh
Drowning.
my god,
We're gonna be drowning.
I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really dreading the 4-month sleep regression.
Yes. because I've heard all about it.
Especially because we've been spoiled.
We have.
So
I wouldn't stress out because I think a lot of the reason it stems is because you're probably
your
stressing that
babies
you're, like,
definitely
looking
know
for
when
it.
you're stressed too.
Yes.
Like I think that like
Yeah.
if you're super chill and comfortable, like they're gonna be chill too. Not saying that like any of us aren't chill, but I think it definitely like plays a role. Almost like dogs. Like
Yeah.
if they know that you're scared, like they're gonna be like, "What's
They'll
up?"
sense
Or,
it.
yeah.
For
If
sure.
I feel myself, I've only done this, I think maybe 3 times, where I felt so overwhelmed or frustrated that I'm like, Ryan, I don't want to be holding him right now. Because I didn't
The
want him
energy.
to pick up on
Yeah.
my frustration.
Yeah.
And Ryan would like take over at that moment. But yeah, I'm definitely a fan of like putting the baby down if you're
Right.
feeling too frustrated. Because they sense it. They pick up on it, and it's more dangerous to be in your
Well, I
arms.
mean,
at
think
that
about it.
moment.
They literally were a part of you for 9 months. So every time, like, you're stressed, they're going to be stressed.
Right.
And every time that, like, you know, they know that, like, the sound of your heartbeat, if it's racing or if it's mellow, like, they just know,
can hear it, sense it, yeah.
Yeah.
which I think is crazy, but it's amazing, too.
Well, that I've heard that that's why most babies will say dada first, is because they don't view the mom as separate from them for the first 9 to 12 months, I think.
That's
because
so funny.
they've been a part of you, and I don't know how accurate that is, but I'm
I'm
going to
gonna
believe.
crush your dreams for a second.
Don't do that.
They say dada because it's
You're
phonetically
wrong.
easier to say.
You're wrong. I'm right.
Dada, like the mouth movement it takes to say dada and mama. Dada is
No.
just easy.
well, right now,
Listen, I've been
Sadie
saying
just
mama to him
goes-
every single day since he's born, so if he says dada first, I'm going to be so
Okay. Well, don't. This is a good thing. So,
Yeah.
like, if he says dada first, you'd be like, it's just easier for him to say that. He wants to say mama.
fine. No, I like my theory better.
Okay.
I feel like,
it too.
Sam, I
don't
feel
know if
like
it's
you're
true.
so educated and, like, always, like, ready for everything. I really envy that. But I just...
envy you. How you cannot be.
I'm just like, oh, whatever. Like, if this happens, what do I do now? Like, I have no rhyme or reason to, like, literally my life, I guess. Like, I don't know. It's just, I'm just going with the flow. Like, even with my jobs, like, it's, like, yes, I have to work hard to make my money, but it's not set ever. So I'm just like, well,
Sam could never.
we're going with the flow. Sometimes I'm going to be super busy. Sometimes I'm going to be slow. It's like, I don't know. I guess it has to do with my personality type too.
I think it does.
But I do envy the organization and, like, knowledge you have.
Well, thank
She's
you.
on it.
I wish I could have some of yours. I wish I could, like,
My
not
happy-go-lucky whatever, go with
Why
the
am I
flow.
already thinking about baby-led weaning books? Like,
See, I don't even know what that is.
why?
Oh, I know, you did. You asked us about that, and we're like, everybody keeps asking, did you give Cash a taste of anything? I'm in no rush to start food, okay? Maybe 6
Oh,
months.
that's the food thing.
Yeah. That's so Marlena.
That is
we
me.
started talking about it. She's like, wait, what is
Yeah, like in the group chat for like forever, everyone's talking about it. I'm like, what the hell are we talking about? I'm like, what?
It's basically,
when you introduce different foods, right?
yeah, but it's how everybody fed their baby before baby food.
Oh.
It just kind of brought itself back, and now it's a trend. And it's like,
Now
it's
you
a
need
fad.
fancy things to do it.
Yeah.
you need all these tools and books. And meanwhile, probably not our parents. I think baby food was pretty
Yeah.
common. Maybe their parents were just like, here,
Here's a carrot.
Have a
Try this
banana.
steak.
Yeah.
Oh, Craig cannot wait
Oh, I'm
for
sure.
the steak. Our doula Emily, that's what when her baby was ready to start eating, she gave him just steak to
Guys, you
like,
are
suck
making
on.
me hungry.
I haven't eaten yet. I need to.
And Craig cannot wait for the day to give Cash a piece of steak.
I'm sure.
I'm
You
just
have to
not-
get it on video.
Oh yeah.
I like when they give like the babies like little lemons or like limes, and they're like,
like that. Yeah.
what is that? That'll be me with Sadie. I'm like, here, try
Eat
this.
this.
Yeah. I'll be that mom. I'll be like, I just want to video it.
I can't believe Dale had a green bean.
I didn't see that.
No, she didn't have it on video, but she said it, right? Didn't she say
I missed
we
it.
gave Dale a green bean at Thanksgiving?
She is.
I just love Dale.
I
I
just
know.
Can I just say that he is so flipping cute? Like,
is.
he's just
so happy, so cute.
Yeah, I don't know. I really am. I want to meet him.
We will soon.
I know. I can't wait for them to come home.
Oh yeah, you weren't at the pool thing.
I know. I couldn't go. I'm sad about that still.
Yeah, I can't wait to get all the babies together.
I cannot wait.
It's going to be so funny.
Guys, the hats are almost done.
Marlena's making us Santa hats for all the babies.
Marlena is so talented,
cute.
it's not even funny.
Stop it. Thank
I
you.
was,
but
okay,
no.
when you said you paid like $60-some for that sweater with Sadie's name embroidered on it from Trendy
why
Bunny,
didn't you-
I totally
was like,
could've
why
make it,
didn't
but-
you just make it?
Sam, it's the convenience.
But you're
See?
so talented.
Thank you.
Me and Marlena will pay for convenience, though. Katie is our bargain hunter. She is constantly looking for them sales. And
Looking for
I'm like,
them sales.
no.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll pay $10 more to not have to worry.
Yeah, it depends on my mood. But then it's like sometimes it's like, oh, I'll make it. But then it's like I'm going to go spend $100 to buy everything to make it.
True,
And then
that's
it's like,
true.
it's going to take me a while.
And then it's your time.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I also am like one of those people, though, I don't finish anything sometimes. Like if I can't figure it out right away, I don't finish it. Or if I don't like how it's going, I don't finish it. So I struggle with that.
No. Even if I start a book that I don't like, I have to finish it. I can't. If I start a TV series that I hate, gotta finish it. I cannot leave something unfinished.
Like I was going into like being an art major, and you know how many things that I've started and did not finish of like paintings and drawings and like even crocheting things. Like I was making a cardigan and I totally fucked it up and I don't know where I fucked it up. So I'm like, I think I'm just gonna stop. Maybe next time.
I'll try it again. That's hilarious. I think, yeah, a lot of what postpartum stems from too is
Your
just your
personality.
personality. Yeah.
Yeah.
And your
And
baby's
your partner's
person.
personality.
Yeah, your
babies.
partner, all just personality. in
Brandon
general.
is so good with Sadie because I mean this is, you know, his second daughter, but
They're
Riley's
far apart,
almost
though.
Riley's gonna
Yeah.
be 10.
That's a big gap.
So a lot of things he's like, I forget. I'm like, what do you mean you forget?
And things have changed in 10 years.
Yes.
You know?
So he's so good with her and comfortable, but he like can't stand when she cries. Like he's literally like
Has to
like
make
he'll be like, give her the binky, she needs a bottle. Like I remember like Riley was in the back seat and he's like, Riley, like make her stop crying. I'm like, Brandon, she is a baby. She's going to cry.
No.
Riley doesn't like. He's like, give her the binky.
opposites.
She's like, she doesn't want the binky. So you know, but
We're opposites. I cannot.
I don't like
cannot
letting him cry at all.
stand to hear him cry.
I mean, I don't like it, but he like gets so
No.
much anxiety.
Yeah, me. I'm
Oh.
like, how do I, especially in the car, hate it.
And
Yeah.
grandparents are like, oh, they're learning to use their lungs. It's okay, you know.
Nope, they're hungry.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
they
Well, diaper
just
change.
ate.
Yeah, the diaper change thing pisses me off because everyone's like, oh, they need their diaper changed. I'm like, listen, she just farted. Leave her alone. Like, I swear, it's
She's
like a
the
mom
tootie
thing.
gal.
You only
You
know.
the difference.
Like, yeah, everyone's like, oh, she left us stinky. I think she needs change. No, I know what her crap smells like. Clearly no one else does. But
Yeah, and this is the holiday season now. We just surpassed Thanksgiving, our first big holiday with the babies, and I feel like
I'm not even done. I got my third Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Oh my
my-
god.
that's nice though that it's spread out.
Yes, not all in one day.
Yeah.
I made that happen.
Good.
Because I bitch about it every year that I have to run around and
It's only worse now with the
I
baby.
think that like, yeah, I said when I have a baby, I'm not doing it. I just don't want to. Like, can I? Sure. But between going to my in-laws and then, you know, we split the day with Riley, so like getting her in the middle of the day and then going to my parents, it's just too much and I don't enjoy it. So my parents were finally like, all right, we're doing Sunday. I'm like,
well, it's,
thank you.
It's so hard because you don't feel like you're giving anybody.
the quality time.
Right.
Correct.
Yes.
You're just there for a second to
you're
eat, do
there,
presents.
but you're not really like visiting
Yeah.
with them.
Yep, spending quality time.
Yes.
It's just like
we're still figuring that
what's
out.
that word? Formality.
Yeah,
Yes.
Like you're there, you saw
saw it.
someone.
And you
Is
know
that really what
what?
you want?
Yeah.
You
Like-
just want to see it? Like, you
I
just
think
probably
it's
wanna spend
okay
time.
for us too to say no. Like everyone's always like, "Oh, well, this is what everyone else does. Like we have to run around." Like no, like everyone's afraid. I think
It's only
of
going to get
upsetting
worse
people.
too when the babies are older. When they're old enough to open presents and want to play with their new toys, they're not going to want to get ripped away and go to these different
And I
places,
did it for
so.
years. I mean, I loved my childhood, but like I remember, you know, you wake up, you hurry up, you get dressed, you go
You
to
don't even get to
church,
play
you
with all
go,
your new toys.
You go to grandma's and then you eat, and then you go to other grandma's and then you eat, and then
It's
you
a
get home and
hectic
it's
day.
the day's over.
Yeah.
So, for those of you that like hate it, just say that because I said I hate holidays. And
Because of that. And it shouldn't be that.
eventually
like that.
I said it enough and was cranky enough every holiday that now we're going to
Marlena,
split them
can
up.
you come whip all of our families into shape?
Yeah, I
next?
will, because as I get older, I don't care. I'm like becoming like the asshole, and I don't care.
Love it.
Like, I'm just saying it how it is.
And having a baby is really nice for that reason, because every Thanksgiving for the last 9 years, Ryan and I traveled to Indianapolis for his side of the family. And then we'd do Christmas at my side of the family here. And then the day after Christmas, we would go back to Indianapolis to do Christmas with Ryan's side
Oh, wait,
of the family.
Thanksgiving and then Christmas. Okay.
Yeah, Thanksgiving, then Christmas. And so November and December is just constant driving to Indianapolis. And it's like a 7-hour drive. It's not
And then you don't see
fun.
them again till...
Wow,
Summer,
yeah, that's
usually,
far.
in the summer. So I said, when we have a baby, I ain't. If they want to come see us, they can come to us.
Yes.
We're done coming to them. And yeah, they made that happen. I was able to have Thanksgiving with my family, and Christmas, they're coming here.
See,
So
that's perfect.
having a baby.
That's
to-
what Craig's
that.
cousin who moved to Maryland, that's what they alternate holidays. So one year they'll do Thanksgiving with the Maryland family and then Christmas with the PA family. And
That's
then
what I want to do.
Flip-flop.
Flip-flop every year. Like this year we are doing it with my parents like on Sunday, and we had Thanksgiving with my in-laws on Thanksgiving. So like next year I want to like flip it.
flip-flop. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
But I also think it's hard when like I'm the first one in the family to have a baby.
Yep.
So
That's
no
what we're
one
dealing
else
with, yep.
quite gets it yet,
Yep.
but they will,
You're-
and they'll probably appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I was
once.
just going to say, if you're setting
once-
the tone,
yeah.
I can't wait till we have a house, because I'm just going to make everybody come to us.
Yes.
Like a big house. I mean, we
Yeah.
have a big house, like the full house.
Yeah. We already need a bigger house.
I'll be like, you can all come to us.
Yeah. All our bedrooms are full, so
Yep.
we
And that's
need
another
an
thing
addition.
with postpartum too, is like when you are the first person in your family or close friend group to have a baby.
It's hard.
I also want to plug our mom group here, because without you guys, I definitely would have failed at breastfeeding. I would have thought something was so wrong. How, like all the time, I'm constantly like, "Is this normal?" And you guys all refresh me, like, "Yes, that is normal."
Yeah, because
I
being the
experienced
first of
it.
your friend group or family or like, just your peers, it's hard because you don't have anyone that can relate.
Yes.
Like that people can like,
Give you advice
Yes.
or tell you it'll be okay.
but unless you have someone at that moment going through it with you, it can feel really lonely. And I think that sometimes like I know that I would like creep on other people that were pregnant while I was, or like, having babies at the same time, because you like almost like long for that
Yeah, the connection. Yeah,
but you
the
don't
bond.
always know how to reach out without sounding like weird or anything. But
We just
seriously,
did it. We made
We
it
did.
happen.
This has
We
been
were
like the
weird.
best thing
we
for
lived
us.
in the weird. And
I love it though. Like I feel
I
like
remember you were doing my hair, and I was telling about this group, and I was like, would you want to be
I was like,
in it?
add me, Courtney. You need to add me. I think I said it to
You
you,
have to have
too.
your baby.
But
No.
I didn't know how.
Oh
Me
yes,
and
I didn't know
technology,
either.
We just don't get along.
yeah. I was like, Sam, you need to add me. She's like, I don't know how. I'm like, well, tell someone to add me.
And
I didn't know if you would
I
like
had
it or
FOMO.
not.
I had FOMO.
I know.
I didn't want to be left out.
Yeah, well, we love
Every-
it. I just love everybody in our mom
Yeah.
group. Like, everybody has such different personalities, different lives, different babies, and it's just so cool to see us all come together, especially at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's my favorite. Like, somebody's up. I love
Somebody's up. Somebody is definitely up.
it. Yeah.
Always.
Usually.
Courtney's like, me, I am up normally.
Every time. Well, this was a good one.
I think so too,
Little
yeah.
postpartum part 2.
A little bit.
Some other experiences.
tangents.
Yeah, we had, good
Yeah.
convo.
I agree. I'm excited we have some ideas rolling for some other episodes, so I'm excited for you guys to
We
come
need to
back
start
and hear about
getting some
that.
special guests.
Yeah,
up
we
on
have
here.
a couple guests lined up.
Yeah,
we
Which
do.
is exciting.
Yeah, a lot of different
We have
experiences.
some hard topics coming up, but I
Yeah.
think it's going to be a good one, and I'm excited for, more people to connect with us through that, because I feel like a lot of things that we are going to touch on doesn't get talked about enough.
Yep. And that's the goal of this, is to talk about the uncomfy things. Mm-hmm. Like
Normalize it for
itchy
everyone.
stitches.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm going to end this.
So stick around, definitely come back for the next episode, and we'll talk to you then.
See you then.
Bye.